Friends, welcome to this virtual tutorial classroom. Today we will discuss on the topic that is motivation. But before starting the discussion, let me tell you what is the importance of motivation in every individual life. As a student, like you must be having some interest for a particular work, like you must be liking to do a particular work. Do you know, students, why you are liking to do a particular work? That is what the interest which is generated within your mind, and you are continuously doing the same type of work, and that interest, that is called the motivation of a particular individual. Unless until we motivate, unless until we feel happy, unless until we feel happy to do a particular work, we never do that work. So, that inspiration is basically comes from within the individual, within the heart, within the mind. We are very much feeling happy while we are doing a particular work. Like many of you may be feeling happy for sometimes doing cooking, sometimes for playing cricket, sometimes for preparing some handicrafts. Somebody may be happy while they are writing something, or somebody may be writing poems, like that. Like any work in your life when you are doing, because like many types of works are generally we have to do, but few works you will be when you will be doing, you will be feeling happy, but few works you will not feeling happy while you are doing. So, here the motivation is the particular concept which is generally happens in everybody's life. It is a feeling. It is a feeling, it is a psychological state of mind, where when somebody do some work, he feels that this is my interest area, this is my interest area, and I am feeling happy what I am doing. But basically this motivation is to be understood by the managers or by the you can say the organization. Why it needs to be understood? Because unless until one employee will be motivated to do the work in an organization, even though somebody joins in a particular job and he may not be interested to do that job, but for the salary purpose somebody joins he got a chance and somebody joins into the job, but the work he is not getting interest. So, in that case the employee will not be committed. In that case the employee will not put maximum effort. So, here the organization has to work on that, like what makes him interested to do the work. So, how to develop his motivation level, how to retain his motivation level for a particular work. Many times we are getting bored out of that. Suppose same type of work we will do for a continuous time, then automatically one day will come, let us not do it, let us change our style of work, let us go for any other work, let us like haphazardly we are doing the work. So, to manage all such things, the manager must understand what can be done which will improve the employee's motivation level, because the motivation is basically reflects, or the motivation basically influences the work behavior of the individual. Suppose someone will be demotivated, then he will not work properly. Suppose someone will be motivated, so there is no need of like supervising, monitoring, that is a secondary aspect. If someone is motivated and self-directed, he can do the work and he can complete the work within the time schedule or whatever is given to him. So, you need not say that Mr. X, you do this work and complete it today. He automatically comes and takes care of the work and complete the work within the stipulated time period. So, that is how it is highly essential to understand what are the factors, what are the conditions which are basically required to retain the motivation level of the employee, required to retain the interest level of the employee, and how they will be become dedicated, how they will be contributing the work for the organizational achievement. So, today we will discuss regarding what is the concept of motivation, how this is basically influences the work behavior of the individual, and what are the factors are responsible. And besides that, like we will be discussing on the different theories which is trying to find out what are the real causes, what are the real reasons, or what are the real factors which basically responsible for the motivation level at the workplace. So, let us first understand the concept. So, coming to this concept, motivation is the psychological state which reflected in the work behavior of an individual. It means when somebody works in an organization, if he is putting all interest, he is giving all time, he is sincerely doing the work, then it is understood that he is a motivated employee and he is a dedicated employee for the organization. So, that is the first aspect, that psychologically whether someone is happy or not when he is doing the work. And in other way, it is like the employee is when he is a motivated person, he will be doing the work with the self directed action. It's like no need of giving any direction, or no need of giving any order to that person. Like whatever responsibility is given to him, immediately he will come and do the work, because he is happy to do that work. So, he is a self directed person, means nobody is there, nobody is required to give any order, or you can say official notice that you do this, you do that, like that. But when someone is motivated, like say he will be automatically come to the workplace and start up his work. In the third aspect, like this particular term motivation has come from the Latin word, that is movere. Movere means, which means to move, to move. It means like when something is given to someone, there is no requirement of pushing that person that you do this work. So, automatically he will move forward to start up the work, automatically he will be getting all energy to start up the work, because there is no need of like continuously reminding that person that you Mr. X, you have to do this and you have to complete the work. So, he will be doing that particular work. In our day to day life, sometimes when our papa says or somebody says that Mr. X or Mr. Y, you do this work, or Sanjay, you do this work, many times we feel that why this work is given to me, like we are not very much interested to move forward. Suppose something is interesting which you likes in your life, if that is given to you, immediately you start up your bike and do that work. So that is what the term motivation is, basically gives the idea about how a person moves forward to do that particular work. So, and this concept, like motivation is, it's not only to move someone for the work, it is basically some other concepts which are related to this motivation, that when an individual is given some work, how it works, how this motivation works when the work is given to the individual. Is it his efficiency, he is only getting ready to do the work? Is it his interest level, he is getting ready to do the work? Is it his only, although he is doing the job, he is getting ready to do the work? So, to understand this concept, there are three terms, basically there are three terms are used for this, for understanding this motivation level. First is the motive, the second is the motivating, third is the motivation. There are three terms which are directly related to this motivation aspect of the individual. Let us first understand how motive plays an important role in the motivation aspect. The motive is the inner state that energizes and activates or moves and that directs the behavior towards goals. It means motive means, suppose you do not have your motive to get the good result, suppose your intention is not there to get the good result, then how you will start up the work. So, here it says that when a person is getting motivated, unless until he is having the motive, unless until he is having the intention, unless until he is having the interest level, then he will not start up the work. He has to start up the work when he is having the motive to do that particular work. Motive means the interest level or the energy which is having within him, that you can say the strong psychological state. No, I have to complete this work by this time. So, this is the first aspect of the starting of a motivation process. So, motive is the first step through which one can start up the work. So, it directs the person or move the person to do the work. Then second aspect is motivating. This is the other concept related to motivation, is that is motivating. Like, it means when one person inspires the other person to get into action. It means by looking at someone, by looking at someone's quality, someone's working style, someone's behavior, someone's dedication level, we generally inspire. Like, for example, many times the students got inspired by their teacher, because the teacher is highly knowledgeous, the teacher's style of teaching is good, the teacher's way of talking is good, the teachers understands the problems of the students. Many times that is why the student is inspired by their teachers. So, motivated by their teachers. It means, so students got into the different jobs because of their teacher. They understands that my teacher had guided me, I inspired for my teacher. So, it motivates the students to get into a particular action. Same way, motivating is a concept which is basically refers to that when someone engages into the action by looking at someone, on the other person is basically engaged into the action. By looking at someone, like my friend is doing this, let me do that. Many times we choose our subjects, or we are getting into the studies, when my friend is doing that, then I will be doing that. So that we got inspired. And last is the motivation. It is the work behavior of the individual. It is the work behavior of the individual. It means, like when the individual is at the final stage of doing a particular work, when now the interest level is completely coming to the mind, now he is getting inspired and motivated to do the work, that is reflected in his work behavior. Whatever the work he is doing, the way the work he is doing, the way he wanted to complete the work, that is the work behavior itself. Suppose I will say that I am motivated to become a particular to achieve a particular position, but suppose I will not do, suppose I will not contribute that work, then can I get that job? No, it is not possible. So, only talking about motivation will not help. So, when someone says that I am getting motivated, it means it is understood that, like it is basically observable that how he is contributing the work for that, how he is doing that work for that to you can say to achieve that goal. So, in organization, when the people are engaged into the different work, how the manager will understand that they will be motivated. When the goal is achieved, when the people will work hard to achieve the goal, how much interest level they are showing to do that particular work, that is the work behavior itself. How they are studying the work, how they are doing the work, what is their sincerity level, then only the motivation will be understood by the employees. So, that is what these three terms, this motive, motivation, motivating and motivation, these three are the you can say the real concepts related to motivation, and these are three psychological states through which one can understand whether the employee is motivated or not. So, how it is happening, you can see out of this particular channelizing table or the connectivity table. Once the motive will be there within a person, So, because this is the first aspect which need to be required or which need to be present within the individual to start up a particular work, unless until he is having the motive, unless until the individual is having the interest, then he will not start up the work. But what is this motive? From where the motive will come? The motive will come when he is having some needs, because needs are the core aspects of the human life. Unless until we have the needs, suppose when we are working for any interview, when we are wanting a job, then the need is the money, the income we wanted to get for our family. So, unless until we have the needs, then motive will not come. So, needs are the core issues of the individual for which the intention is coming automatically to the mind of the individual, and when need will be there, motive will be there to do. Suppose someone wanted to become a teacher, someone wanted to become the engineer, someone wanted to become a civil servant, someone wanted to become the army personnel. How it happens? Because the motive is behind that. Why the motive is behind that? Because the interest level, the needs are there. He wanted to take care of the family, he wanted to have a social prestige, he wanted to have achieve some recognition in the society. Many needs are there which is allowing someone to create this motive aspect. Once the motive will be generated, that is called the energizer. That is called the energizer, because it gives you the energy, it gives you the fuel to start up the work. Because when the bike will be, you are kick starting the bike, unless until the fuel is there, you cannot start the bike. Same way, the unless until this motive is there, or unless until the intention is there, you cannot start the work. Once you are starting of the work, once you are getting the feeling that I have to do this, then the second aspect, now you are at a stage of working condition. Now you have initiated the work, which is the channelization, in motivating condition. What is happening? Like you are activating, you are giving more emphasis to your achievement of the needs. You try to achieve your needs and you start on the working. That is why it is called the channelization before happening of the final motivation level, final achievement of the motivation level. So, motivation level is the final stage, you can say. Here like it is now the individual is engaged in the work behavior. When someone is getting completely motivated, when someone is getting completely inspired, someone is getting completely mentally mentally equipped that no, I have to anyhow I have to achieve the anyhow I have to achieve my goal. So, in that position someone will be engaged into the work behavior, that is the work behavior itself. So, in this way the motivation is connected, the concept is connected with like this. So, a motive is the energizer which gives the fuel to start up the work, then it is the channelization, the media through which you can start up the work, then finally you are at a motivation stage. So, this is what the motivation is generally happens within the individual. Then coming to why this motivation is essential in the workplace, why this motivation is essential in the workplace. First of all, motivation helps the workers or the employees, it gives the drives to the individual, gives the you can say the inspiration to the individual to start up the work. Unless until someone is having the interest, he will not contribute the work, he will not start up the work. And it is the prime mover, you can say the motivation level, the psychological state of mind is the prime mover for the efforts and the better work performance. When someone is very sincere, someone putting the hard work, unless until he is getting motivated to do the work, he will never do the work. So, that is what it is, motivation is the prime mover for the efforts and the better work performances. And if the employees will be motivated, then it reduces the absenteeism in the organizations. like people will not be absent in the from their workplaces, and turnover will be very less. Turnover means people will not leave the organization frequently, they will stay with the organization. So, it is essential for the managers to keep the motivation level intact with the people, so that the people will continue, people will never leave the organization frequently. And when the employees are motivated, when the employees are committed towards their work, it improves their morale, it improves their feelings that this is my organization and I have to contribute, I have to do something, I have to do the hard work, irrespective of the salary they will contribute the work. So, there is no need of changing the people that why you have not done this work. So, it is a highly challenging aspect when at the workplace the manager has to see at what level people are sincere, at what level they are putting their hard work, because it will give the message that whether the people are motivated or not. Then those people who are motivated in an organization, those people who are inspired by the organizations, here the manager can bring any type of changes to the organization, and any type of changes to the organization, because those motivated people, they will never resist, they will never resist to bring any changes to the organization. If people will not be motivated, then they will never accept any change when the organization wanted to implement in the workplaces. And the high level of motivation generally results into the harmonious environment in the organization, and harmonious or happy or a good relationship between the employer and employee, and there will be less conflict within the organization, and it also improves the corporate image. Suppose people will be happy, then they will spread the message at the outside to the public that my company is the best company and my workplace is the best workplace. Like you might have heard the news that Google is the best workplace, like which is rated as the best workplace for the IT workers. It means like when the organization gives a comfort zone, when the organization understands the employees morale and they provide all facilities while they are doing the work, and whatever the policy they have developed to contribute the work, it automatically motivates the people and continue the work in that place. They will never leave the places. That is what the need, or you can say the importance of motivation. Unless the manager understands the motivation level of the people, or the like their interest level of the people, or the you can say the problems of the people, they will never be motivated to contribute the hard work in the organizations. This is what called the importance of the motivation in the workplaces, and the manager has to understand the psychological state of the people, whether they are motivated or demotivated. And besides that, there are two aspects of the motivation. One is the intrinsic motivation, another is the extrinsic motivation. So, in intrinsic motivation, like how an individual is internally motivated to contribute the work in the organization. Many times, like we may be doing the work, but we are not happy with the organization. So, here the manager has to understand what is the intrinsic motivation that person is having, whether he is happy with the work, whether he is happy with the position, whether he is happy with the boss, what is his intrinsic aspect, because that motivation level will be reflected in his spontaneous behavior, how he reacts, how he do the work, how he behaves during the working hour. So, it exists between the individual and the task he is doing. It can be understood, it can be observed when the employee is contributing the task in the organization. That is what called the intrinsic motivation. Coming to and this intrinsic motivation is something like work satisfaction, like job satisfaction is drawing out of the work, that is reflected in the work behavior. Then extrinsic motivations are basically the outcome, the result or the rewards which he is getting out of the work. Suppose the salary he is getting, the incentives he is getting, whatever they are getting out, whatever they are getting, that is called the extrinsic motivation, which compels him to do the work. He may not be happy with that, but whatever result, whatever reward he is going to get out of that, he is happy to, he is getting motivated to do the work or complete the work with due time. That is what called the extrinsic motivation aspect, and it is generally the rewards, achievements, results, promotions, incentives, which is the extra factor, the organizational environment, which are the extra factors which is basically helps the individual, helps the employee to be motivated for the organization and contribute the work. So, these are the two aspects, one is the intrinsic motivation, another is the extrinsic motivation. Here the manager has to work on what is the intrinsic motivation concepts or motivation aspect the employee is doing the work, and what are the extrinsic aspects which is basically allows the employee to be retained with the organization. They have to identify all these two factors. The theories of motivation. In the last class, we had we understood about what is the concept of motivation and how it is very important in the workplaces. Unless the employee get motivated, he will not contribute the work in the organization. So, it is a very core aspect of the manager to understand that how to motivate the employee, how to retain their interest level with the organization, so that they can be dedicated, they can be committed for the organization. So, to understand this factor, like many theories has been developed, like the psychologists, they worked on this motivation level of the individual. What practically the reasons, what are the practical conditions, what are the factors which basically influences the people to work for the organization, because as a human being we are basically influenced by our needs, because unless until we have the need, we may never work. That is the biggest argument with the individual, whether the individual is basically working for the to take care of the needs, or by the or the individual works only for his interest. So, that is the greatest argument which is still it is unanswerable. So, to understand that, to study about that particular aspects, the theories of motivation has been developed. The basic reason of these theories, basic assumptions of these theories is like what motivates the people in the organization most. That is the biggest question which is basically dealt with the psychologist to find out the reasons behind how this has been developed. So, on the basis of that, the theories are divided into classified into two parts. One is the content theories and other is the process theories. Under content theories, the like the Maslow's and Alderfer, Mackland, Hodgeberg, these four people, like many more people have worked on this, but the most identified theories, these four theories are basically they have worked on the need aspect of the individual. They dealt with the basically the human needs, how this individual needs are having influence in the workplace, and how the individual is getting influenced, how the individual is you can say the how the individual is basically contribute the work in the organization, which is whether that is for the need of the individual or that is for his working interest. So, that is how these particular theories they dealt with the human needs, what type of needs is basically influence, what type of needs of the individual influences the individual or inspires the individual or moves the individual towards doing the hard work or contribute the work in the organization. That is what these content theories are basically dealing with. And the process theories, they deals with the cognitive and the process of motivation in human life. How this motivation is basically used, how it is internalized with the individual, whether it is a mental process, whether it is a human activity through which the individual is inspired to do the work. They try to understand what are what are the what are the steps through which the individual getting inspired to do the particular work. That is what in the process theories they try to find out the process of motivation, how this process of motivation happens in the workplaces. They try to find out these aspects that is presented in the Adams equity theory and Bloom's expectancy theory. But here in the content theories, these four gurus, the four psychologists, or sociologists, they try to give the idea about how this need is influenced the individual to take care in the of the motivation in different workplaces. So, as we have discussed that these four theories are under the content aspect. Content theories are considered as the content theories which are developed from the very early period of time, like after 1960 these theories are came into existence. They have worked on that what are the factors, what are the need aspect, how this need hierarchy, basically they have taken the need hierarchy, what needs should be achieved first and what other needs should be achieved in the next, and all of them have worked on this particular aspect, need aspect. But in process theories, this is they try to find out the systematic way through which what are the component factors, which is basically systematically the more they are trying to imbibe this motivation within the individual. They try to find out that the steps through which the individual get motivated, that is what called the process theories. So, let us first discuss regarding the Maslow's need hierarchy theory. In the last class, in the last concept, we have already discussed regarding the Maslow's need hierarchy theory, but today we will be discussing this need hierarchy theory in detail. Maslow's need hierarchy theory, as we have discussed in the many previous classes about Maslow's theory, again let us understand it in this concept. That this how this need is basically influence the human life in different aspects, and how people are getting motivated for their multiple needs to be achieved in the life, because unless until we have those needs we may not continue the life, we may not work on the life. The greatest challenge which Maslow felt that is the survival factor. The human being basically struggles for the survival is a major core aspect of human life, through which for which they are trying to work on. They try to move for the work, they try to find out the ways how to survive the life. So, that is reflected in these diagrams. Let us first understand, this is the first pyramidal table, which is triangle, which Maslow had said that whatever needs first let us identify. So, first he had given the idea about the physiological need, safety need, social need, esteem need and self actualization. He had segregated these needs into 5 aspects, and those 5 aspects he had arranged into this pyramidal table. So, in this way he had put the physiological needs or the biological needs at the first step, which is the, you can say, the background through which the human being started off their work. So, this is the first motivation aspect, like here the hunger, sex and biological needs of the individual, because unless until we have the food we cannot survive. So, for that first of all the human being try to find out what are the ways to get the food, how to get the food. Unless he works, he cannot get the food. So, that is how the physiological need has been taken care first. Unless until the physiological need will be taken care, unless until the hunger is managed, or without having the food he cannot survive in this society. He is always first try to find out or arranging the foods for the life. So, that is what the first physiological need is taken care. Then once the food is available, now he is having the life, he is leading a healthy life. Then after that he is trying to find out the shelter. he is trying to find out the shelter, because shelter is essential for the protection of the life, because safety is required. So, he is trying to find out a shelter where nobody will kill him, like like animals or the outside elements, they will not kill his life. So, he is trying to find out the security for his life. That is what called the safety needs will be taken care after the hunger and sex will be handled. Automatically the safety needs will be taken care. Once he will find out a shelter, a protection, and he is find out a secured place, he try to take care of the social needs. Social needs means he try to live in a society where the recognition will be there, where the family will be there, where the even the biological needs also be taken care, and the emotions, happiness, sorrow, family, brother, sister, the society, everything is he will try to get a peace of mind. You can say try to get the peace of mind with when he is present in the in the society. So, that is how he tried to fill up his social needs, and once the social needs will be filled, will be satisfied, once it will be satisfied, and to satisfy the social needs also he is trying to do the hard work, because here also within the social needs the economic needs are also taken care, because unless until he earns something, how to take care of his family. So, here social needs is also plays an important role, and here he is trying to stabilize his life in the society. Once this will be done, now he is trying to find out the recognition in the society, a place, the identity in the society, prestige. He tried to find out, like when somebody says that Mr. X is working in some places, it means it is a recognition he is getting, he is getting a position, he is trying to find out the prestige in the society. So, esteem needs, the ego of the individual is taken care in the esteem needs, and finally at the end of the life he is satisfied with everything, and there is no more need will be there to get satisfied. So, Maslow said that these four are the you can say the priority needs which he is trying to satisfy first. First is he tried to take care of the hunger, unless until one is leading a healthy life without getting a food, no one can start off his life, no one can run his life. So, survival is the most important aspect here. Once survival is okay, once you are getting the food, now you are taking care of the shelter, like you can say, and the house or the home, he has tried to bring protection to the life, he tried to find out a shelter for him. So, in that way the safety aspect will be taken care, and then the social needs, society will be taken care, is the entire social needs, like creating a family, getting a life partner, bringing children or creating children for his family, and like that social needs, the emotions of the individual is taken care by social needs. Then society is also helping him to run his family. Then finally, the esteem needs, the ego state will be taken care, and last is the self actualization, where he is satisfied with all the needs, and on priority basis one by one the needs will be satisfied. Like you can just see, the first the physiological need will be satisfied, then the safety need, then social needs, then esteem, then the self actualization need will be satisfied. Here, like he is in a condition of the bliss, like ananda, like all peaceful things will be in the mind. He try to like keep himself away from the day to day struggle, like he is now happy with the retiring. Like it basically happens when someone is retiring age, at the retiring age, he never wants that I will buy a car, I will buy a house, I will earn more money, like that. So, that is a self actualization condition. He realized all things he had achieved. So, there is no need of doing more work. So, here Maslow said that when an individual works hard, when he contributes the work, he contributes to satisfy these needs on priority basis. And that is presented in this pyramidal triangle. then if we will be seeing this, how the intensity of the need is basically influences the individual to work hard. The first intensity, which is, you can see this physiological need, which is the covers the maximum place in the individual life. So, for struggle, the physiological need is the first, it takes the first place and huge space for the individual to find out the survival factors. Then the safety needs comes, then the social needs comes, and you can just see it is the before self actualization, the esteem needs. The ego will come after three needs are satisfied. Ego state will come, the recognition, achievement, rewards, getting reward, getting a position in society, it comes later on, but at the initial stage of life, these are taken the first priority: physiological, safety and social. Last one is the, you just see, this is the self actualization which he is achieving after the all needs got satisfied. Here he is not ready to, he is not now very much aggressive to acquire many position or wealth in the life. So, this is how the relationships of the new levels of needs are basically achieved, and this way the human beings are basically motivated to contribute the work in the society. You just see how the levels they are basically crossing one by one on priority basis. The first priority is physiological. The first step they try to satisfy is the physiological. Then they are the second step, when they are, once it is getting satisfied, then the second step is the security need. Once they will be finding out a shelter for themselves, then for himself, then the social needs are taken care. Now he is thinking to create a family, to have the children, to have stay in a society, to enjoy the life, emotions, all emotions are taken care, like mental pressure, family problems, everything is taken care in the social need aspect. Then finally, once the social needs will be satisfied, the esteem, the ego is coming to him, like how to get prestige, how to get positions in the society. So, esteem needs will be taken care. Then the self actualization, finally he is at a retiring stage, and he feels that there is no more requirement of any more wealth, any more positions, any more achievements. Like now he is happy, and now he is happy with the life he tried to achieve. He had already achieved everything. He tried to achieve the happiness with that particular position. This is how Maslow said that like all the needs, it takes its place one after one. Maslow said that the needs are taking the place one after one, like once one needs will be satisfied, the other need takes place, other needs takes place, again that needs are getting satisfied, then the third one takes its place. So, one by one, to achieve the needs of, to satisfy the one by one needs, people are getting the motivated to do the work. That is the greatest, that is the assumption which is basically dealt with this Maslow's need hierarchy theory, and that assumption is giving that human beings are only contribute the work or try to earn the money to satisfy these needs of the life. This is what the Maslow's need hierarchy theory. So, coming to the Alderfer's ERG model, Alderfer had given like he had redefined this need hierarchy. He had reclassified this need hierarchy, which is given by Maslow. As Maslow said that these five are the needs which are basically moves the individual to contribute the work, and it should be satisfied on priority basis, and you can say one by one on the hierarchical basis. Basically it is satisfied on hierarchical basis, and physiological need will be satisfied first, then it is the second, the safety needs, then it is at the third condition, this is at the fourth condition, at the fifth condition. But Alderfer said that these five needs is not the real hierarchical positions. It is something segregated, like he tried to give his ideas in different way. So, he tried to find out, he had combined these needs, into three aspects, and he presented that in this way, that is the ERG model. that is the ERG model, he first said that like the individual is basically motivated to do the work for the existence of life, means for the survival, So, for the existence of individual, what are the factors are required, like food, shelter, home, income, whatever, like society, everything, whatever is required for the survival of the individual, that for the existence of the individual in the society, like say life within the society, how it will be existed, how it will how he can stay in the society. So, for existence factor, whatever elements, whatever components are required for an individual, everything is taken as the first need for the individual. So, you cannot say that only food, or you can say the only physiological needs are the first needs. No, safety, social needs, physiological needs, economic needs, everything comes for the existence needs. So, all are combined in this particular component, that is he had reclassified Maslow's theory, and he had rearranged this need hierarchy. In the first aspect, he said that this existence component is most essential for the individual, for existence of the individual, for living a good life in the society. Whatever components are required, that should be taken as the first, you can say, the foundation needs for which the individual is working, and he is motivated to do the work. Then second aspect is relatedness. So, to achieve this existential need, or whatever the related components are required, like for example, to lead a good life, society is required, friends are required, family is required, brothers, sisters, relatives are required. Those people who are required in the society, they are the related conditions, which is basically consisting of the social needs of the individual. So, after existence, whatever the other components are required for the existence of the individual, that is what called the relatedness aspect, and those relatedness aspect must be achieved by the individual, and individual is getting motivated. He is trying to find out the ways how to get a good position in the society, how to stay in the society, how to lead a safety life in the society. Unless until the neighborhood is there, unless until the friends are there, the emotions will not be taken care. Unless until the family members are there, then the psychological state of the mind will not be managed. So, happiness, this sorrow, and handling troubles, for that whatever related components are required, that is coming under the relatedness, which is basically focusing on the social needs of the individual. For that he is working very hard to get it, and in the social prestige. And finally, the growth need. Every individual is trying to grow in their life. So, grow in terms of knowledge, grow in terms of you can say efficiency, grow in terms of prestige, in terms of positions, grow in terms of achieving something in the society. So, here the growth need is like how one will be growing, like how to achieve the self confidence for a particular work, how to be productive, how to be creative, how to be very efficient enough to handle the different situations of the life. Those are coming under the growth needs. And how economically someone will be stable, unless until he will be productive, he will not be stable economically. So, growth need will be taken care after this existence and relatedness or the social needs will be fulfilled. Then the individual is trying to grow in the society. So, grow in the society in terms of money, in terms of wealth, in terms of efficiency, in terms of achieving some reward, recognitions in the society, everything is coming under the growth. So, here Alderfer said that it is only these three aspects, it is not the 5 needs, these 5 needs which Maslow had presented, it is only these 3 aspects that is basically moves the individual to contribute to work and work hard in the organizations. That is what the ERG model, that is what the ERG model, which deals with the hierarchical like reclassification of the Maslow's needs, and he had segregated these needs into these three aspects. One is existence, one is relatedness, another is growth needs. Let us now discuss regarding McClelland's achievement motivation theory. As you have understood that how Maslow had segregated these 5 needs into presented the 5 needs in the hierarchical level, hierarchical presentation, and after that Alderfer had presented it in a different model, that is ERG model, and he had segregated these needs into different components, like for existence need there will be some needs which are coming under for existence, and for relatedness what are the like different social needs are coming under that, and for the growth needs how individual is moved forward for the growth. But after that McClelland said no, it is not, these needs are basically plays an important role. McClelland had given the different concept for the motivation level to how the individual is basically motivated for the work. He basically given importance on the achievement. He had given importance on the achievement component or the achievement aspect of the individual. So, he said that when someone is trying to behave in a different way in the society or the organization, everyone tries to control others, everyone tries to control others, everyone tries to influence the others, and for that whatever is required they try to achieve that. So, to control the individual, to get the satisfaction out of that, whatever is required they try to achieve in the society. So, for that reason, with that assumption he tried to give the 3 components which is basically influence the individual to be motivated and influence the individual to work in the workplaces. He said that achievements, power, affiliation, these are the three most important aspects of the human life through which they try to control the other individuals in the society. Unless until one is having the power, how can he influence the other people? So, when they are trying to do that, when they try to achieve those things, they will contribute the work. To get the power, they will do some work. To get the good companions, good friend circle, good society, then they try to contribute the work. So, in that way like they tried, McClelland had said like it is not only this food, shelter and clothing is basically influences the individual to work hard in the organization. It is the power, it is the growth or the achievement of some result, achievement of some success, achievement of something good in the society. They try to work hard in the organizations. So, first of all he had given this these 3 components, that is he said that NPOW, NF and NH. So, these are NPOW indicates the power need of the individual, NF indicates the affiliation needs of the individual, and NH is the achievement need of the individual. So, let us first understand what are the power needs, why the individual try to get power for the try to achieve the power in the workplaces. So, in workplaces the individual basically work hard to get a position, to get the power. To control the other individuals, like by the human nature we try to dominate others, try to control others activity. So, that is what the power need, he try to get it in the workplace. Once they try to get the position in the workplaces, they try to control the individual. That is how the power need comes to the individual and which influences them to work hard. Unless until they get the power, they cannot control the other individuals. For that they work hard to get the power in the workplaces. That is the first aspect of the power need, which is dealing with how the individual is more interested to get the power rather than anything else. Then coming to the affiliation need. Affiliation need is a part of social need, where the individual is working very hard to get the good companionship, good friend circle, and support from the colleagues, support from the family members, support from the society. That is how the relationship is built up in the society. So, that is another need. Without the support of all these components like family, society and colleagues in the workplaces, he will not do, he cannot achieve anything, or he cannot he cannot do the work properly. So, affiliation is essential. He is getting connected with themselves, and he is getting support from those people. So, that is why the individual is working with the other people to get the good position, good relationship, and to be connected with the society, family, and with the wife, and everyone, he try to get the good companionship. And then finally, the third aspect, McClelland said that NH, which is the achievement need, So, here the individual is always trying to achieve the personal achievements, maybe in terms of money, in terms of hours, in terms of efficiency, in terms of education, in terms of experiences, in terms of wealth. So, individual achievement matters here. So, when the individual works very hard, he tries to achieve something in the society. It may be in shape of many aspects. So, by achieving something, he tries to compete with others. So, ultimately the core idea, the assumption is basically dealt by McClelland is like individual is working or getting motivated in the workplace to achieve these three things. One is the power, another is the good relationship or good environment with the good support from the colleagues or family or society, and the personal achievement, the self achievement of the individual. Unless until one achieves anything in the life, they will not compete. They cannot compete with others. So, because as a human nature, we try to dominate others, as a human nature we try to control others, as a human nature we try to get success. We never try to work hard for the failure. We always work hard to get success in life. So, success never comes without hard work. So, that is how McClelland says it is the only the achievement component, it is the only the power achievement, or the you can say support achievement, or the achievement of something in terms of money, knowledge, experience, in terms of education. So, they are basically work very hard and moves themselves to work hard in the organizations. These are the three types of needs dealt by McClelland. So, he is put his opinions in a different way rather than Maslow and Ferland, and he said that this Maslow's need hierarchy theory and ERG model is they are only putting the needs in the hierarchical order, but here he said that it is not only the needs for the life, it is only the power which influences the people to work hard and achieve the different aspects of life and move forward to do the work. That is the greatest inspiration for motivation. Last theory of this content theory, that is Hodgeberg's two-factor theory. So, here Hodgeberg had put his idea in a different way. As Maslow, McClelland and Ferland, they have given and Alderfer had given different ideas related to need aspect, which without those needs are satisfied in the individual's life, then people will never be motivated to do the work. So, they have given more importance to the need aspect, but here Hodgeberg said that besides those needs, there are certain organizational factors which are basically responsible for the individual, and they are getting inspired. Many a times the dedication level, the commitment level, the you can say the work, the interest level of the individual, it only happens it only happens because of certain factors. So, he had segregated these factors into two components. One is the hygieners, another is the motivators. So, as Hutchbox said that hygieners are the what factor, like as you know students, when we are when we are talking about the hygienic condition, it means it is a good healthy conditions, but it is not very easy to adopt a healthy condition. It requires a lot of exercise to handle the organizations in different workplaces. So, to make a good condition of the workplace, you need to go for preparing a good company policy, and you have to focus on the administration, and the good supervision control will be there, supervision system will be there, good performance appraisal system will be there, then working conditions should be good. Suppose if you will be working in a very hot environment, is it possible to work good? So, you need AC to get a good comfort zone, or you need computer to do the work in a systematic way. So, that is how, like, the company policy, administration, supervision, working conditions, status, security, all these things are required to run the workplace in a good environment, or you can say make a disciplined environment in the workplace. But let me tell you, this is a real fact, you know, whatever salary you are getting, when you are getting a salary, when you are joining to the organization, you are happy with your salary. But after you are getting the salary, the very next day you are feeling sad that, oh, if little more salary will come in this month, then we will be very happy. So, salary is a major component which is basically is the conditions for the dissatisfaction. So, sometimes we are satisfied with the salary, but the major aspect is we are also always dissatisfied for the salary. So, these hygiene factors are like the major factors which is creates job dissatisfaction to the employee, because they are not satisfied with the like when before joining the company, we always said that my company is the best company and my company's policy is the good. Once after you are joining to the job, oh, so I have made a great mistake after joining this job, let us search for better job. So, never it cannot satisfy the employee when someone joins in the organization, because they say that my company's administration is not well, because these are required to handle the workplace in a systematic manner. Unless until these components are properly managed in the workplace, the people will not work hard, or people will not put their effort properly. So, these are the real creator of the job dissatisfaction. People will never satisfied with their salary, people will never satisfied with the working conditions, people will never satisfied with the company policy. So, these are called, as Hutchbox says, that these are the hygiene factors. Coming to the motivators, what are the factors which basically motivates the individual to continue with the organization or to be dedicated in the organization? They are basically some achievement. Suppose some reward is given to the individual, some recognition is given to the individual, then he is highly satisfied for that. Then work itself, like suppose I am happy with my work, I am satisfied with my work, I am feeling I am enjoying my work. So, salary will not be a hurdle, or working condition will not be a hurdle, because I am happy with my work. Then advancement or the responsibility, growth aspect, what is the growth, you know, career growth is there for the organization, whether I have joined as an executive, whether I will be a senior manager, what is my promotion chart. Okay, so, these are the factors which generally motivates the individual. Hutchbox said that these are two major needs of the people, or these are basically the needs of the people in the workplace, which motivates them to work or which also demotivates them to work. So, demotivators are the hygiene factors. The motivators are the these factors, like this reward recognition and salary recognition, or you can say the work itself. This gives satisfaction to the employee while they are doing the work. But here you can see, here I have put a mark, star mark, this is the salary. Okay. Salary is the salary is a component which is coming under the hygieners as well as the motivators. It means salary is the only component which dissatisfies you as well as it also gives you the satisfaction. So, this is how he had put a like the star here, that salary influences both the conditions. It satisfies the individual, it also dissatisfies the individual. So, these are the two factors which are basically dealt by Hertzberg. He said that without the presence of these two factors or without you can say the proper arrangement of these two factors, the individuals will not be motivated. So, these are the content theories contributed by these four management gurus: Maslow, Aldous, McClelland and Hertzberg. Process theories of motivation. Under process theories of motivation, there are two theories are basically studied to understand the process of motivation, that is Bloom's expectancy theory of motivation and Adams equity theory. So, first let us discuss regarding Bloom's expectancy theory of motivation. Here in this particular theory, Bloom has identified three components which is basically responsible for creating motivation within the individual. That is what called the process for the motivation component. So, the assumption of this theory is the people will be motivated to do the things to achieve certain goals and they expect the outcome of the effort. It means whatever work we are doing at the workplace, it is always related to the some goal achievement or result or some benefit which the individual is getting, that is called the outcome. It may be in terms of money, it may be in terms of reward, it may be in terms of payment, in terms of positions, in terms of promotion, like in terms of incentive, in terms of perks, many things are there. When an individual works hard in the organization, he is expecting certain level of result from that particular work. So, and for that result he is getting motivated, for that result he is getting motivated. But how it is basically happens, how it happens with in the organization. So, Bloom had identified three areas of the three components which are responsible for this creation of motivation within the individual. He had identified three aspects, that is, first is the concept of balance, expectancy, then force. Force is the motivation. So, coming to the concept of balance, what he exactly mean about this balance aspect. So, here Bloom said that the balance means the strength of an individual's and how the individual, how much work he is contributing, and out of that what is the outcome out of that work. When somebody works very hard, what is the result is associated with that. That is the first aspect where the individual is keeping in the mind, in the back of his mind it is there, when I am doing this work means I will get my salary or I will get this benefit. That is always there in the mind. Without that nobody works. It is, you know, you can say it is something hidden component of the mind, that when I am doing this work means I will get something. That is what called the strength, the ability of the person or the effort of the person which is associated with the outcome, which is a positive aspect. Unless until someone is having the idea about that what I am going to get, his contribution will be very less. He may not be motivated to do that work. So, keeping that outcome in the mind, people generally move forwards to contribute the work. That is what called the balance. Coming to the instrumentality, like what are the channels, what are the way through which, what are the instruments through which one can get this particular, one can get the outcome. So, instrumentality is a component which Bloom had said that it is the first level of outcome for obtaining the second level of outcome. It means it is the first level of effort for which someone is getting the other result. For example, so if someone desires for the promotion, but that can be achieved by the superior performances. unless until you work hard can you get the promotion, it is not possible. So, in the mind of the individual always there, when I want to get the promotion means I have to go for the superior performances, or my performance will be better than others, so that I can get my promotion. Here what is the first level of outcome and what is the second level of outcome? In this concept, in this instrumentality concept, Bloom said that like the first level of outcome is the superior performance. Unless until you perform well, you cannot get the promotion. So, unless until you work hard, you cannot get the promotion. That is what he said. The first level of outcome is the superior performance. That is the first result which is expected from the employee. And then the second level of outcome is the result is the performance, is the promotion. Once somebody will put good performances, then he will get the good result, good you can say he will get the good promotion in his position. That is what called the instrumentality. When the expectations of the individual is going to be met, it has to be met with appropriate conditions. The appropriate conditions are called the instrumentality, through which one can get the good result, through which one can get the second level result. So, for to get the result, he has to first contribute certain things, and that contribution should be the way to achieve the final result. That is what the first level of outcome and the second level of outcome. And lastly, third one is the expectancy. Expectancy means the probability that a particular action will lead to the outcome. So, it means like when the individual works hard, there is a probability, means he always think that the assumption is always there, when I am doing this work means I will surely get something something for my work. That expectation is the first level of outcome. Unless until that expectation is within the mind of the individual, he cannot start up the work. So, that is why Bloom had given the formula that that how it has to be done. Like when someone is getting motivated, the force, unless the force is there, he will not put the maximum effort, and the balance should be used. Unless until he put the effort, like expectancy will be multiplied. Unless until someone put the effort, he cannot get the result. So, effort and expectancy, effort and expectation both are contributing the result, both are connected with the result. When someone is putting hard work, he must be having expectation for some result, and that is the outcome, that is the outcome which is considered by Bloom. So, he said that there are three conditions which are basically works for the motivation level. The motivation, the force will not come if the expectations will not be there. The force will not come if the hard work will not be there. If those things will not be there, you cannot achieve the expectations. In this very simple terms, Bloom said that when someone works in the organizations, he is always having the expectation of getting something, maybe in terms of money, promotion, position, achievement, performance appraisal, something. It is always connected with that. So, how this theory is basically dealt by Bloom is, like he said that when the motivational force is within the individual, how it comes? Because he is having the expectation that he is going to get something. That is the first level of outcome which is motivating the individual to start up the work. That is the motivation force, and when he is starting the work, this motivation is connected with the expectancy. Like his expectations are always there. When I am doing this work, my expectation is I must get certain result, I must get certain outcome in terms of money and in terms of promotion, in terms of incentives, perks, like that. And the second, and instrumentality, the role of instrumentality is that to achieve the second level of outcome, to achieve the outcome 1 and 2, one has to use this instrumentality. Unless the instrumentality is there, instrumentality means the way through which one has to achieve the result. So, what is the way? like suppose to get the promotion one has to put hard work, suppose to get the incentive one has to work very hard. Like for example, dear students, when if you will be not working hard, you cannot get good percentage of mark. Good percentage of mark is the second level of outcome, but hard work is the first level of outcome. When you are doing the hard work means you are expecting that your result will be better. That is what every individual is connecting with the motivation level, and they basically works hard with the motivational force, because unless until someone is getting motivated to do the work, then he cannot start off the work. So, here what is the region of motivation? The region of motivation is the first level of outcome. It means if I will put the hard work, then if I will study well, then my result will be well. Same way for the employee, if I will do the work, then I will surely get some benefit from my organization. That is the first level of result which he is getting. Once he will be getting good remarks that oh, Mr. So and so is doing very hard work, then automatically the promotion will be the second level of outcome. That is what called the instrumentalities. That is what called the instrumentalities, which is dealt by Bloom. So, Bloom said that people are the individuals when they are working at different workplaces, they are motivated by these three components. First is the balance, the strength of the individual, how much effort he can put for a particular work. Once he is putting the effort means that is connected with the expectation, and expectation has to be met with the can be met with the use of the instrumentalities. Instrumentalities are the hard work, instrumentalities are the commitment level, instrumentalities are the you can say dedication, sincerity and completion of the work at right time, so that the first level and second level of outcome can be achieved. So, this is the expectancy theory of Bloom's, which is basically deals with the process of the motivation, because these three components are used as the how to start off, how to get the motivational force within the individual. Without the presence of balance, without the presence of expectations, without the presence of force, like this motivation cannot happen. Expectancy theory. Adams equity theory. As Bloom had dealt with the three components, that how people are basically motivated with certain expectations, but Adams said that people's motivation level is basically based on the working relationships, like whether it means the equal treatment of the employees within a workplace, how the manager has to go for maintaining equity between the different work groups or between the different employees. So, here the theory is basically assumes that the individuals are motivated by their desire to be equitably treated in their workplace or work relationships. So, here the Adam said that if people will not be equally treated, if people will not be equally give justice, then they will feel that they are less important in the organization. So, their motivation level basically comes down. So, what are the conditions which are which generally degrading their motivation level is, there are certain aspect where they feel that they are not treated equally, they are not given equal importance in the organization. That is what the core idea of this theory. So, in this particular theory, he had used the four aspects, four terms. First is the person. Person means the individual for whom the equity and inequity exists. It means the individual is the core component of the organization. So, the feelings of equal unequal comes to the mind. So, he is the element like the machineries will not feel that, the person, the individual feels that whether he is given the equal treatment or he is not given the equal treatment. So, equity inequity feelings comes within the individual's mind. So, person he had taken as a one component. Second component is comparison other. Comparison other, he had clearly stated that comparison other. It means like the individual when works in an organization, he compares himself with the others. Suppose I am doing the same work, then when someone is doing the same work, why the discriminations in salary, why the discriminations in the positions. So, comparison other is the other concept he had taken. Then third is the inputs. Here the individual characteristics and skills of the employee. Here the skills matters. If someone is efficient enough to do the work and the same efficiency, for the same efficiency someone will be being paid more, then inequality comes to the mind. When I am doing the same work and he is doing the same work, then equal salary will be there. Then last one is the outcome. People generally feels the unequal tendency or the unequal feelings comes when the irregularity happens in the payment, promotion and fringe benefits which is received for a particular job, received from a particular job. So, these are the four components which is dealt by Adam. He said that the equity concept or the equality or inequality concepts comes to the mind of the individual when they differ in different aspects. So, he had identified the three aspects, but these are three differentiations whatever he had dealt with, that is based on two assumptions. The first assumption is individuals make contributions for which they expect certain rewards. Anybody else, any individual employee, when they do the work, when they work hard for the organization, there must be some expectation of getting some reward, outcome or result or payment. If that is not there, then they will be getting demotivated. Like every individual is when they are contributing, even a security guard, when he stands in front of the gate, he feels that I must be getting something. When the peon is working, when the menial staff is working in the organization, I must get something for my work. So, everyone who is taking care of the establishment from the top to bottom level, everyone is having the feelings that I must get some reward. And the second assumption is individuals decide whether or not a particular exchange is satisfactory by comparing their inputs and outcomes of an individual. Let me simplify this assumption, like when the comparison happens between the people, because when in bigger establishments people are work different types of work, when for a similar work, when the when the remunerations are given in terms of discrimination or somebody will be given incentive, some group will not be given incentive, somebody will be given promotion, someone will not be given promotion. So, in that way the people are basically feels that they are not important, and the inequality generally comes to their mind. They feel that we are less important and the other people are more important, even though they are doing the same type of work. That is what Adams said, that this is the exchange of relationship which is happening in the working places. Even suppose 5-6 people are working in the same platform, same type of work, same timing, but one is getting promoted. Even the relationship, even they are doing the same type of work, when someone is getting the promotion, then people will compare, people start comparing why that person is given the promotion. It happens automatically. So, here he had given 3 exchange relationship which is generally exist in the organizations. So, first relationship he said that the overpaid inequity which is generally exist in the organizations. In this particular exchange relationship, he had said that the person perceives that his outcomes are more arch compared to his inputs in relation to others. So, in this particular overpaid inequity concept, Adam said that person's outcome is always compared with the other's outcome. Like the individual feels that I am getting more money, and if that is also given to that person, his result is more, and others are getting less. So, in that case he is feeling very guilty position, he is in a very guilty position. he is not feeling satisfied with the organization, because why he has to be being paid more when my friends are working in the same platform, why they are getting less, why I am getting more. So, am I better than others? So, comparison comes here. So, he is feeling guilty out of when he is getting more money. So, that is how it demotivates the people. When at the same platform, when everyone is working same type of job, someone is getting more money. So, it brings inequality of in the relationship, and the individual feels guilty of getting more money. That demotivates the other people. That is the biggest reason in the organizations. Then second relationship is underpaid inequity. Underpaid inequity is here, like the people generally perceive that his outcomes are lower as compared to his inputs in relation to other. Whatever work he is doing in the for the workplace or for the organization, that is more, but he is getting less. So, here again the dissatisfaction arises, and he is also he is not feeling satisfied with the organization or with the management, because he is underpaid, he is contributing more work. So, the payment should be given as per his contribution or as per his skills. This is the second condition which is dealt by Adams. Then third is the equity, where the balance relationship is maintained. Here the person perceives that his outcomes in relation to his inputs are equal to those of others. Whatever he is doing, he is getting the real income, or he is getting the appropriate income, and in comparison to others it is also equal. So, there is no imbalance here, the person experiences satisfaction, there is no guilty feeling within the individual, there is no dissatisfaction that he is underpaid. Now, it is getting balanced. So, that the equity theory says that when the employee works in an organization, his skills, his remunerations here, like in comparison to other, in comparison to the workplace, in comparison to the effort, it should be balanced. So, equity will be maintained. So, equity theory says that it should not be imbalanced, it should not be imbalanced, inequality should not be there, because once the discrimination will happen in terms of money, in terms of positions, in terms of outcome, then people will be demotivated. So, in this theory of motivation, Adam said that equity should be maintained. So, he had taken these 4 components to present this theory, equity theory. So, as all the theories of motivation, they deals with, again I am repeating, all the theories of motivation, that is divided into 2 parts. One is the content theories, another is the process theories. Content theories dealt with the needs of the human beings, how needs can be needs are the real factors which are basically motivates the individual to contribute or dedicate the work in the workplaces. And in process theories, what are the components which are basically initiate the process of motivation and also responsible for the demotivation of the individual. This is all, these are the core ideas of the theories of motivation, and with this we are completing this topic, the theories of motivation. Thank you. Bye bye.